Rams 49ers 27-24. Sean McVay, as he went to the podium after this one, said, "Holy." That was his takeaway from this game, and he was right. But Albert, I'm going to zag where everyone is zigging here, and I'll just, off the top, I will acknowledge a brilliant job by Sean McVay and the Rams. This is
Yep.
why you have arguably the greatest play caller in the NFL right now and play designer. There were moments in that game when they were coming back where the stuff that he was throwing down, you could have scored with a youth flag football team. I mean, and this is against
Yep.
49ers defense, right? But my takeaway here, Albert, is that while everything is going south for the 49ers, we are seeing why Brock Purdy deserves a $60 million
He
extension.
looked great. Yeah.
Brock
I mean,
Purdy had the 49ers dropped six passes, including, I mean, the big one at the end, right? But the 49ers dropped six passes. If they would have caught those balls, Brock Purdy would have had a completion percentage above 90 against the Rams. And the Rams aren't the Rams defense right now, right? But to have a completion percentage above 90 against any team is stunning.
no. I mean, the Rams are fine.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, they're not, it's, I'm just saying they're not the
they're
Vikings, right?
well, yeah, no, I'm saying, but their injuries are on the other side of the ball. I thought
Right.
that was what you were getting at. Their injuries, for the most part, are on the other side of the ball. Um, yeah, I think Brock did everything he could to carry that team to a win. I mean, I like the scramble, like the one on the third down where he
Yeah.
dove over the line, some of the scramble plays he made throwing the ball. And yeah, I mean, like the Ronnie Bell drop is the big one, right? Because I think the game's over if Ronnie Bell catches that ball. And that was a high level downfield throw. He put heat on that thing, and it was in between two defenders. And it's just, I think, like it's it's interesting because as much as like people have short memories with this stuff, like Tom Brady's first 4 or 5 years in the league, he was seen as a game manager, and people forget that. But like because they had a great defense, because he had Bill Belichick, because they were efficient offensively, and they didn't always need him to throw for 300 yards. There was always like this skepticism about Brady's ability to level up. There was never that skepticism on Peyton Manning. Those two were contemporaries. Well, what's the primary difference between the two? I would say physically, they're probably relatively similar, right? That's fair,
Yeah.
right? The primary difference between those two is one was drafted first overall and the other one was drafted 199th overall. We
Yeah.
need to get it out of our heads that Brock Purdy's Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah.
He's just a really good player. He's more talented than people give him credit for. He's a really good athlete. He's got plenty of arm strength. He's a good match for what they do offensively. And we'll get to the Rams in a second, but like what's to me, like this is the game you wanted to see from him, where like when he has a big contract and now he's gonna have to win with less, he's able to elevate people, right?
Yeah.
He's able to get more out of people. Jawan Jennings, right? Salbert,
Had the best game for a 49ers receiver since Jerry Rice.
Jeremy Mason, Ronnie Bell. Like he is elevating guys. And it was just, I mean, to watch that happen, it was like, okay, like if you're the Niners now, you feel, I like honestly, like if I was the Niners, I'd almost feel better about where I'm going now. And you don't want
I
to
do
take the
too.
loss, but I'd almost feel like, okay, like we're gonna come out of this and we're gonna get Kittle back and we're gonna get Debo back and we're gonna get McCaffrey back. And we're gonna have a quarterback who's better for having gone through this. And it might mean they don't get to 13 or 14 wins. And it may even cost them a home playoff game. But I think we've seen something from Brock Purdy, and we saw something specifically from Brock Purdy yesterday that is a little different than what we've seen from him before. His passer rating was 137.1, and that's with the drops.
That's crazy. It's the greatest time of year again. Football is back and it's here to stay until February. Over a million fans across 33 states got in the game last year by making picks on Underdog. Win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on your favorite players' stats, touchdowns, passing yards, anything that you can think of. I'm not a gambler, guys, but I remember going to the Belmont Stakes, trying to learn how to bet on horse racing, trying to pull people over and ask them how to handle this. What do I do on my betting slip? What do I say? Underdog makes it easier. It's straightforward, and signing up is even more simple. Head over to their easy to use app or underdogfantasy.com. Sign up with promo code MMQB, and Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code MMQB to claim your new customer special of a free pick and a deposit offer. You must be 18 plus to play, 21 in Massachusetts and Arizona, 19 in Alabama and Nebraska, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Hey guys, fall is upon us. That means that kids are back in school, everyone's got sports, and you might not have time to cook dinner. Well, with Factor's no prep, no mess meals, you can not only feed your family, but meet your own personal wellness goals just in time for the busy holiday rush, all the stuff that we have to do at the end of the year with chef crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So, no matter how busy you are, you'll always find time to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals. Make today the day that you kickstart your new healthy routine. What are you waiting for? With 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from, you'll always have new flavors to explore. You can crush your wellness goals this month with dietitian-approved meals and ingredients you can trust. You can make your day delicious from breakfast to dessert. Stay fueled with easy and nutritious options. Treat yourself to restaurant-quality meals that feature premium ingredients. We're talking filet mignon, shrimp, and blackened salmon, and keep kitchen time and cleanup to a minimum. These Factor meals are ready in 2 minutes. No shopping, prepping, cooking, or cleaning up. This is effortless support for your lifestyle, guys. 6 different menu preferences help you manage calories, max your protein intake, avoid meat, or simply eat well balanced. Head to factormeals.com/MMQB50 and use the code MMQB50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code MMQB50 at factormeals.com/MMQB50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. Think about this, okay? So, would you agree with me that through the first 3 weeks of the season, Brian Flores has been the best defensive coordinator in the NFL?
Yeah, I wrote a big story on him. It's going up on the website momentarily.
There we go. Okay. So I took all three quarterbacks who have faced Brian Flores and, you put them through the same thing. Brock Purdy had a -1 expected points added per drop or per drop back, right? Or -1
Yep.
total expected points added, which is not great. But against Brian Flores, he completed 70 some percent of his passes, I think, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. CJ Stroud's expected points added -12. Okay. And I don't think anybody's arguing that this guy, and he threw 2 picks. I don't think anyone's arguing that this guy at some point deserves a big extension. Daniel Jones, a -22 expected
Yeah.
points added, 50% completion rate, 2 interceptions, and Daniel Jones already got a big extension. So and okay, it's one little bit of sample size, but facing Brian Flores early in the season right now is one of those biomarker examples of like, can you play well against the absolute best in this moment in time? And so far, out of all three
Yep.
quarterbacks who've faced Brian Flores, Brock Purdy has been by far the best. And again, he doesn't have a full complement of players with him either.
And the
So
defense didn't play great.
defense didn't play great. So I don't know.
As for the
Gonna buy him
Rams,
pretty.
like as for the Rams, um, this is everything that they couldn't do a few years ago against the Niners.
Right.
This is all of it. Like this is tough, resourceful. They stood up to them. Um, you look at like the guys they were doing it with. No Cooper Kupp, no Puka Nakua. They're leaning on Tutu Atwell, Kyron Williams, what he meant to them, your Notre Dame guy there. I think this was a triumph of the Rams program, right?
Sure.
It's like you look at the guys that they're able to. I mean, they were without three starting offensive linemen. They were without Puka. They were without Cooper Kupp. And it's all these guys that have the guys that were making plays for them are guys that like have been just sort of hanging around the program, right? And have just been there, like Logan Bruss, who hasn't lived up to his draft position, but has hung on. Alaric Jackson at left tackle has been around a while now. Tutu Atwell, again, like I think he was a second rounder in 2021, so he hasn't lived up to his draft position, but they're still able to get something out of him. And then like on defense, I think it was the front, like the young defensive front, like Byron Young and Braden Fisk and Jared Verse and Kobe Turner, like were able to consistently upset the timing of the Niners offense, So like I just saw a tough, resourceful effort against a team that quite honestly had been in the Rams' head a few years ago. To be able to do it with those guys out there, and then I think the value of Stafford is just so obvious watching them play.
You
Like
still got it.
he's still I think he's consistently underrated. Like I'm not afraid to say he like I don't know where he'd fit in the top five in the league for me, but I think he's got to be in the top five, and I think he has been since he's been a Ram. And he just sets such a like a resilient tone for them, and the way that he battles through injuries. And yeah, man, they're obviously they've got a lot that they're fighting through right now, but to avoid 0-3 in that sort of manner, I thought was really impressive.